Hello everyone, this is Travalgar Vallertine. How's it going today? Today I'm just going to do a quick video. Today's going to be the landshark from Masters of the Universe, which is Skeletor's awesome assault vehicle. Anyway, let's get to it. It's going to be a quick video because the studio at the moment has got no heating and it's extremely cold here in the minus. So I'm going to be quite quick because I am freezing. It's quite a simple vehicle, so it's just going to be an easy one today. So it's got these tracks at the bottom. And I've just done a quick line at the bottom here, just for like a ground level from the photo reference I have. Yeah, so the tracks across here, curl down. This main drum wheels come down here, like so. Then we have the main support on the side. So here's the main shape of the body. It's quite a weird, complex kind of shape. It's hard to actually describe it. Sort of like a rectangle with all these different indentations. Use a control handle, and what I'll do probably later is actually draw Skeletor himself on it, driving it, which I thought would be pretty awesome. So I'm just doing where his arm would be. This is the main handle, and then the seat that he sits on comes up here. Okay, now from the main front bit, which is the most interesting part, which is basically a shark's head. Starts from there and curls round and scrapes along the ground here. So you can see this is where the jaw is. Got some vents there. Small eye shape here. Just a look up at when I start inking it. I'm just doing it rough in pencil for now, just to give you rough shapes and stuff here. His teeth come down there. And then for the other main bit here at the back, this rear section comes down. Okay, and now for the gun at the back. It's got this hinge point here. I'm not really aware of how realistic these guns are to functionality, but I think they look pretty good overall. I think these vehicles were designed majority for toy purposes as well and stuff. So some of the details here and there just for cosmetic uses really. So it actually looks good, and it's more than what it should be really, but hey, it's still fun and it's still good to imagine. Now for the wheels at the bottom here. This one can be there, here, then way at the top. As I look at as I'm also recording the video, I'm also looking at a reference photo as well, because I can't pre-draw these vehicles. And well, I kind of learn as I'm learning with you. So if I say it's got this many, and I can see it's got this many, it's just because I'm actually looking at a reference photo at the same time. And some pauses throughout the video will be me trying to actually adjust the video, trying to actually adjust the photo and stuff while I'm recording. Just notice there's a large wheel at the back there, so I'm going to have to sort of make that look better. Okay, I'm just going to go over the lines that I've just done in pen so you can see it a lot better. Then I'll probably go into some shading tips and blah blah blah, but you get the gist of it. Okay, time lapse. so I've gone over the main lines just in pen, and then I've just filled in some of the darker areas in jet black just so you can see it. So you can see this is the inside of the actual jaw that I've done. And there's a gun opposite, which is pretty much the same shape, which I've just done in black. They'll just show up white on the negative that I like to use this filter. So now I'm just going to go in with the shading and just some more precise details here and there. So I'm just going to use a fine line pen just to go underneath some of these sections here, like so. So because I want this gun to look 3D, I'm doing like a black line underneath to indicate the shadow, which is underneath it. This will brighten up the top a bit more and actually darken the bottom part a bit more, give it more shape and stuff. For the little circles at the top, I just leave a little white highlight there just to indicate the inside of it. Just zoom in. Yeah. Okay. And then for these other shapes, some of these little shapes are actually indentations within the actual shapes. So I want to actually show the 3D-ness. So I'm just going to again highlight the inside of these shapes and leaving that white highlight at the top. Okay, continue with these shapes. So it's just a small black box there, and there. For this one, here, there. So. So you can kind of see the effect I'm going for this. Likewise to this one. Just do a circle inside and leave this lip showing. Okay, I want this bit to be darker. Okay, I'm just going to go into some more details with the teeth. I need to make these look a bit more 3D, so what I'll do is I'll just add a line on this side to give that 3D effect. The line changes as the jaw curls round. So for this one, shadow the line be this side, and following the same pattern on the bottom jaw. I never thought I'd be actually doing instructions on teeth on a vehicle before, but hey, there's a first for everything. I'm not going to do a line on that one because that one's kind of facing you, so you won't actually see the line behind it. This one goes up there. This one very, very close. These teeth I did back there with the felt tip pen. Because I couldn't get a fine tip, they're not that sharply pointed, so they're a bit blunted. So I'm going to resharpen them with the fine line pen at the very end. So, sorry the paper's moving around everywhere. I can't really fix it down because the way my hand pivots around the actual page and stuff. Just go in there. Okay, maybe I should do some more details for the actual tracks that's down here. So I've done the treads, as you can see, which is basically I did a second line going around, but indented it and then just joined up those sections together, and then blocks across. So and this rear wheel's got the same pattern as this one here, so it's quite easy to do. That's why I like what these vehicle designs from the ETs and stuff like that, the toys and stuff. It won't It is designed for toys, so they're quite simply made and haven't got much complex parts to it. I've done my complex drawings before. That recent ice cream truck I did, that was pretty complex and took me about 6 hours to do over a few days and stuff like that, and just for some fun, but I want to do something a bit more simpler. Okay, there we are for the tracks. Now again, so we'll go into some shading. So I'm just going to shade maybe the spokes first here actually. Just leaving that small little highlight there, then following that highlight round. Like so. This wheel is a little different. It's got sort of a, how would you actually describe it? Spokeless in the middle, and it's just got this hollow section. And you can see how deep it is by having the inside shape the same as the outside shape. Yeah, the inside shape the same as the outside. I think that sounds right. I just want to indicate like a highlight going round. So when I'm doing the shading on the corners, I'm not actually filling in the actual corners themselves, I'm just doing darkness around it. For the inside wheels, I'm just going to go in and not actually have the highlight, but have the highlight just going around the actual shape. Then I'll do the same for these wheels, except they're quite solid on the outside, so you can't actually see on the inside. But for the inside here, just do the same. Okay, I'll probably finish the rest of these tracks in time lapse. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward. I'll do something else before actually moving to time lapse, just to indicate the rear section, just to do a slightly different shape. I'm just going to go with a grey marker as well, just to go around here, just to darken up this area a lot, to fill in this space. Might go into small black detail and stuff like that with it here, but I'm not quite sure yet. So the last thing I want to show you before moving to time lapse and finish this all up is the solid black lines that I've done around the corners, especially around here, the jaw for example. The transition between the actual white and the dark, although sometimes in a comic effect it works and so, but I want to ease that transition a bit. So from the white to the dark I want to slow that down. So I'm going to use a biro, just a simple biro. Sorry, my voice is going a bit. And then from where the black shading starts, I'm just going to feather the pen in one direction and just go backwards and forwards across that shape and extending, slowly lifting off the paper as I reach it. Flicking, yeah, that's the right word, isn't it? Flicking across. Slightly lighter than that, well, it's a lot lighter than actual black, so it's kind of even the gradient between the white and the black. So, and what I'll do for this side is that I'll just do a small line there to indicate where I want the feathering to start. Maybe one here as well. So I can leave this white highlight just to emphasize the shape that's going round. And then I'll put a ruler just on that line so I don't go over it. And then just continue the feathering pattern. Careful not to move the ruler. I'll put it back in the same place if you move it. And the key is to have a consistency. So you just working backwards and forwards until you're actually satisfied with the pattern. You could work in one area and slowly move across. Sometimes when I do that I miss out bits, so I just go backwards and forwards, pretty much like a typewriter. Like so. And because the fin shape is just around, a bit more complicated shape here, I'm going very slow. Just going around it, try and keep the pen in the same direction constantly. Following that line up. Following the shape. Keeping that white highlight going up there. because the white highlight is important, so when your eyes look at the white, the lightest part of the actual shape, it follows the shape of it. If I didn't have that, the picture would actually look flat. And then from the eye, I'm just going to do the opposite way. Okay, like so. As you can see, the transition effect is a bit more eased out. And at the end of it, you'll see in what the picture actually looks like, the negative filter that I have on. I just have it on because I like the effect it has. I think sometimes it looks a bit better seeing the white and the black maybe. I'm not sure, but hey. So just folding it up. Because the top shape here, it actually curls round, I want to actually follow that shape going round. So the shape that I made there, my hand moves in that position. So I'm just going to slide my hand up and try and mimic that same motion. And you can pivot your hand, that's what I'm doing basically, just pivot my hand across. This nose cone bit is going to be a lot lighter and it's going to be more difficult, so I've just tilted the paper just so I can get a different kind of pivot on it. I'm just going to slow right down just because it's getting smaller and smaller. The larger areas I can go a bit faster, and like with painting where you're just putting lots of paint on the paper and the palette and stuff and the canvas, you kind of play with the colours and stuff like that, going backwards and forwards between layers and stuff. It's likewise with this picture, you just do lines and dashes and stuff, and you just keep on going until you actually have a desired effect. You can go over the top in some areas and not do enough in some other areas, but with practice and experience and stuff, you'll have a general subconscious view of knowing when to actually stop and when to start in some areas. It's just all about practice, and you know the gist really. Practice makes perfect. I mean, with art and things, it's not just about buying the right materials and stuff, which is a lot of people like myself as well, thinking that buying the next new material is going to help me like be the better artist. I've seen this artist do this picture in this medium, so I need this medium to try and get an equal kind of picture, but that's not always true. You can create, I've seen some people just do masterpieces with napkins and biros that you can find quite easily even if you work in an area with an office and stuff. So it just depends on your practice and your patience and stuff, and just keep going at it and trying different experiments. And what's important as well is that you actually do something that you really enjoy doing. You don't want to do something that you really don't want to do. Your motivation won't be very good towards it. It's like building a house or anything like that. If you were building a house for someone else without any money or anything like that for a few years, you're not going to actually build the house very well because you're not motivated for it. But because with art you're trying to motivate yourself to be a better picture, to be a better artist, and you can do these pictures just for fun and stuff and get the odd excitement, and then slowly get into the picture and the meditation kind of effects happens where you're actually aware of how much the motions within the picture become so transparent that you're not actually aware of all the micro motions, and you're kind of just getting into it. And I draw in these vehicles because I love the power aspect of it. I'm a very picturesque person, so I can imagine things very easily, and when I draw big machines and big engines and stuff, I can feel the power that they have, the earth that would tremble underneath it, the gasps of the barbarian villagers that look upon its site, the distant planets the vehicle could explore, the battles it has seen, the scientists choosing the paint job which is best suited for the environment, the Grand Master who commanded the scientists to actually create the actual vehicle itself, small indentations on the battlefield where fate was on its side and it actually won a battle, personalised effects where the person has had a personality effect on the actual vehicle, and used it to actually mirror his personality by adding a few little details here and there. It's funny where art can take you. I decided to do vehicles and stuff like that just because I looked at I wanted to try and do something consistent, but something I was highly motivated to do, something that had a motivation that was beyond simple stimulant pleasures, or something I would enjoy more than actually playing the PlayStation or something like that. I mean, I can draw lots of different things: flowers, butterflies, unicorns, castles, landscapes, whatever it really is. But when I draw vehicles, I'm happier, so I'm just sticking to it and exploring all these different vehicles and stuff like that. Gives me a generalized view of it all, and I try to expand all my different awarenesses within the vehicles as well, so I'm not just doing the cosmetics of the outside, but also doing the mechanics on the inside, studying hydraulics and robotics and stuff, engine components. I don't just think, because I remember when I was little I used to draw a lot of these vehicles a lot of times. Some of them would be a lot of custom vehicles and stuff, and a lot of people would like come up with those random ideas to try and bring it down and try and bring up the realism and stuff, which, I mean, it's fair enough if you can't accept criticism though. I mean, it's not for you, but it's like drawing these robots and stuff like that, and people would say, oh, what happened if someone got like a fire hose on it and just like doused it and all the electrical circuits get wet, or how do you fix that? And then I would come up with different solutions to try and fix it. I'm going to make this water resistant, or how do you actually control it in this kind of event as well. So controlling that event, and constant practice and stuff like that, I was making vehicles that were legitimate, so if anyone actually came to me with those problems, which was quite frequently, I'd be able to answer them. So I drew these massive vehicles. I would have the engine capacity to actually power it, I'd have the wheel support and the stability to actually absorb the impacts and stuff when it moves around, you know. Okay, it's looking good. I think I'll go into time lapse and just finish this off anyway. Okay guys, I think I'm all finished now. So you can see the effect I've been having with the shading, just the gradation effect with the biro that's been creating with the feathering technique of the flicking up. I think that's pretty much it now. So you can see I've just finished off the tracks and stuff like that and all the main details and stuff. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and check out some links in the description, and I'll be back on another video quite soon. Goodbye.